I'm gonna start the show by smoking a bowl. Let's do it, guys.
Not no need. Should I just introduce what you guys are smoking?
Yeah.
The thing that we do now, I guess.
Welcome to the Oh No Disc Golf Podcast. We are on episode 99. One more till 100. With me, as always, is my best friend Kyle.
Just dying a little bit. Sorry, everyone, if I coughed in your ears. My bad.
And joining us again, one take Tony himself from Happy with Par, Anthony Taylor.
Yay!
What's up, Anthony?
Welcome back.
Here I am, excited to be back again. I feel like so much has happened since we last spoke.
Can't
And
wait.
it
to
hasn't
go
even
all
been
out.
that long. You've just been
Yeah.
tearing stuff up.
When was it? It was like beginning of the year. It was in January, right?
Yeah, January or February. I don't remember exactly.
Time's
Yeah,
different.
Now I feel like
definitely.
I have to look it up.
Pull it up now. Yeah, I think it was sometime in January, I thought. I don't know. I do remember I played a tournament that day though. I played a tournament that day and then came on and told you guys about it with my oh no moment. I remember that. It was a fun conversation, man. So I was really looking forward to getting back together again.
Hell yeah.
I know. And now we get to hear about many, many more things than just
And
one tournament.
And
Right.
also, I mean, like you just said it too, man. You guys are killing it. You just interviewed Scott Stokely too. That's neat.
Yeah, that was fun.
You guys are
He's a
getting
cool
good
dude.
at this.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably one of the bigger names that we've had on. I think we had Natalie Ryan's a pretty big name.
Yeah.
And AJ Risley.
Yeah,
was like our
Nova's a
first
big
big
name
star.
too. Two-time world
Yeah.
champ.
Well, I mean, you had just Jesse from Trash Panda on too. And
That too.
That too.
that's no pro, but that's a big name, I think.
Oh,
in the disc golf world right now.
100%. Yeah, he's like a disc golf celebrity. You know, it's niche, but it's like it's cool.
The hero that we were all kind of waiting for.
Yeah.
It was January 26th.
Ooh.
Word. Yep. Yep.
I feel like the first 2 months of the year went by so fast, especially because we didn't get into recording until the 15th or something. So it was just I couldn't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, we have. For me, it's like the holidays and birthdays. We just have a bunch of it that hits us at once, and then I feel next, at least here in Maryland, it's or in the Mid-Atlantic in general, we get over the wintry mix because we never really get a good winter now, and we get a week of spring, and everybody thinks that it's here, and then it hits again, and it's
yeah.
And that stretch from early February to late March, early April is just brutal. I mean, it's still been pretty chilly around here lately, but I guess you guys deal with that a little bit more often.
No, we've had some pretty decent weather here late. Last week it rained, I think 5 days of the week. So they had that, but it's been warm this week. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fighting to break through. Luckily, I had my tournament, my world's fundraiser was this past weekend now, and it was after a week of rain, we finally had beautiful weather for a whole weekend.
Oh, so nice.
That turned out really, really good.
Where was that at?
That's at one of the courses that we're putting in here in my local community. It's called Dry Hop Pond because the property was originally meant to be a brewery, and there's this big giant pond on it that when nobody was taking care of it was just overrun with green algae all over top of it. And in the beer brewing process, when they dry hop something, right, they're throwing in hops at the very end of the boil, and when they kind of, I guess, heat up and break down, you just get this green film on top of it. So the pond looked like it was dry hop.
Yep.
So my buddy Greg, being a home brewer and kind of the main designer of the course, he wanted to call it Dry Hop Pond. Anyway, that's where the course was. It's on like a private property. Good mix of wooded and open holes. And yeah, it was like just a one rounder with a little hangout afterwards, and it was just a fundraiser to help me put together some money for the vendor registration for PDGA Worlds this year in Vermont. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, hell yeah.
How was this like the first time the dry hop pond got played, or has it been?
No, we've been playing it for I guess about a year now, but
Oh,
very,
okay.
very on and off.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've run a couple little tournaments there, and then we try to run leagues and stuff out there. But yeah, I don't know, just it's hard to get a lot of people together all the time.
Right.
So now that spring's kind of in on the front flex, here we're starting to get people out a lot more, and now there's definitely a push. I think that tournament too was kind of like breaking ground for the spring too, where I mean we spent a lot of time out there the 2 weeks before, cleaning it up. So when everybody was out on Sunday, seeing how nice it was, I think, with all the great weather too, they're like, damn, we got to get out to this place more. So
Right.
that's going to be a big help, just getting feet on the ground at like weekly doubles and league rounds or tag rounds or whatever. It really helps to beat in a property. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see, man.
Big time.
So you how far are you off your goal of I don't know how much you want to get into the numbers or anything, but
Yeah,
like
I don't know that
halfway there.
I actually just paid the invoice. So
Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't make as much as I was kind of hoping off of that tournament. And that sounds or feels kind of like icky for me to say. Like I didn't make as much as I wanted to, but
Yeah.
with a certain goal in mind, I was hoping to make a little bit more. But my buddy said kind of like last minute too. He was like, "You should run mulligans since it was it's non-sanctioned. It's just a fun tournament." And I had a lot of
Yeah.
really good prizes from sponsors and stuff. So I ended up running mulligans, and that was a huge help.
Yeah.
Just kind of like honor system based, but yeah,
Yeah.
you dink that putt and you thought you should have had it and you got that backpack in mind, use a molly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I
I
mean, from
got
what I
sorry,
you
I was
go.
just gonna say I got the invoice is paid. I'm going now. It's just a matter
Right.
of making sure I have enough merchandise when I get there that I don't look
Yeah.
like a fool. It's gonna be
I was just
sick,
gonna
dude.
I was just gonna say from the based on like the Instagram posts I've seen about it, seems like everyone was pretty happy with their haul they took away from the tournament. So
Yeah, I think so. I think it was pretty good. Like Upper Park has been my backpack sponsor this year. They sometime like late last year, I guess. I linked up with Upper Park and they were super cool about it when I just asked them like, "Hey, I want to get some really cool first place prizes because, fundraiser, right? I'm not trying to come out of pocket a ton." And they offered me up some of the ledgestone shifts. So I had 4 of those ledgestone shifts. They went out to the other thing was I'm kind of, cool enough with a lot of the people that were there and some of the people that are pulling away with wins. I'm like, I know you don't need a backpack. We're gonna pass this along to somebody that's newer, showing up to the
right.
community a little bit
Right.
newer. So
Yeah.
like, it's kind of funny, but I
Nobody
did
needs like
kind
a
of like,
third backpack. Like
yeah, I kind of like cherry pick prizes when we do events like this and make sure that like some of the new people that are showing up or some of the people with not to be funny, but like a raggedy backpack. Like I know when I first started out, I had one of those just like it's just like got the one water bottle holder on the side, maybe
right.
holds like 10, 12
Yeah.
this and a little pocket pouch. And it's just like very thin. And the thing was flopping over by like week 2. So when I
Yeah.
get the chance, somebody new coming that shoots good, you're about to get a prize. Cool. I mean, like my buddy Chris ended up winning the event. And I told him as soon as I saw scores like before celebration, I'm like, bro, I'm not giving you a backpack. And he was like, it's cool, man. I don't need one. And I was like, all right, sweet. You're going to do a solid for somebody else here. And he was
Right.
totally cool with that. So,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
man. I don't know. It's just all about trying to have a good time, getting more people to show up, and definitely leaving them with a good impression from the brand.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's all about having a good time. That's what matters in the end.
Yeah, man. Like something I had been thinking about recently too, as I'm doing, because I think after in between the last time we talked, I kind of dropped this Cooler Heads Prevail artwork. I don't know, and then I got the run of discs and stuff, but I just have been thinking about like at over my span of time creating, I guess, like when I was making the music I told you guys about before, I had the little PVs thing, I was Positive Vibes. And then it was like, in my band, the Not a Bad Day thing. Now we're doing Cooler Heads Prevail. There's always been this pull for me to create or like try and, push stuff and create stuff and situations where it's, about fun and about taking what is, kind of the baseline and being appreciative of that. Not a bad day. It's like, doesn't have to be a great day, but if nothing bad happened, then that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
True story.
and then
If like the
with
worst thing
Cooler
that
Heads Prevail,
happens, like for a week, is something on the disc golf course, that's great. Like, I love that. Like,
yeah.
give
So,
me a bad disc golf game for one day. I'm still playing. Like, this,
bro, but if everything else about that day or that event is like, geared around the reminder of like, we're out here to play a game, you got to throw those in every once in a while. I play enough sanctioned events. You know what I mean? So I like to
Right.
throw, the fun ones. I like to make sure that's what I'm getting back to, man. That's what I'm selling is fun, baby. But I mean it. Like, I think it's needed.
yeah, I agree.
Speaking of fun, and the Cooler Heads Prevail, throwing the Cooler Heads Prevail berry is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's sick, dude. Yeah, I'm
Dude,
glad
I
you
am
grabbed one.
on hole, you won't know, so it doesn't make sense to describe it. But on one hole at leagues that I have now birdied it 4 out of 4 times
Nice.
solo, like by myself with just that disc every time.
Is it a
So,
dead straight flyer for you, or do you just flex it? You put angles on it a lot, or what?
yeah, pretty much dead straight if I need it, or this one is specifically I throw with like a big Anheuser and just let it float out.
Yeah.
It's like 260-ish, just like big backhand turnover.
And it just kind of like stands up and just hovers down to the ground. Like it doesn't fade or out hard or anything.
Yeah, but it's not like overly touchy to where you can't, where you can trust it on that angle without it just turning over and burning.
I think that's their plastic, man, because there's the cookie, which is the fairway driver. And I'd say it's like a T-bird kind of. It's like a 7502. But
Yeah.
I can throw it forehand. Like I can rip that thing forehand and it'll go dead straight and still kind of fade. And I swear it's the plastic, because if I do that with a T-bird, I'll turn it over quite often.
Yeah.
So I think that plastic is just torque resistant, man.
Which one is that? Which is the
This-
champion like?
Well, it's really just their main plastic that's out right now. It's called Steady, which is their like, premium blend plastic. And then they just released the Sunny, which is supposed to be a touch more stable. But to be honest, I just haven't even thrown mine.
Oh, okay.
I just like what I got in my bag, I'm dialed right
So do you
now.
have any of it with you just to give us an idea? Like, what does it feel like? Does it feel stiffer?
So, I mean, I have just some random disc sitting here, nothing from my bag, but this is Steady. This is their premium.
And if you're not watching on either Spotify or YouTube, go watch on Spotify or YouTube.
So yeah, this butter has got kind of some swirls in the plastic, but I would say that it feels pretty similar to like a Castaplast. What is their K? Is there
K1?
Like their K1? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I mean, it does feel similar to that. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know. I guess I would say like the Castaplast plastic that I felt. It's similar to Star, but it's stiffer.
Okay.
But it's not stiff.
Yeah.
It's worth trying. If you see any Clash plastic out there, just put hands on it because it is really, really nice.
And all of it feels clean. No, I don't. I've only gotten like 3 discs, but none of it came with like flashing or anything like that. And
the one thing that that's always pretty cool is that people are always asking me because they're a new brand. Do they manufacture their own plastic? And they do. And I don't know if you guys have looked into them at all, but I think that the story is really cool and funny. They say that like a bunch of the workers at the Clash, that Mid-Atlantic accent came out so hard at the Clash factory. They're in Nokia. They're in Finland. They're in Nokia, Finland. And they're literally, they used to work at the plant that made the Nokia phone faceplates, like the interchangeable faceplates. So these guys are just kind of like career plastic manipulators, if you will. Like, I know people in kind of like, I worked at, about to get nerdy about it, but like I've worked at WL Gore, which is like Gore-Tex, right? And they're making a specific thing, right? So people get very good at manipulating this specific material. So, consider that these guys have just been manipulating plastic to try and make the like coolest, shiny, highest grade looking plastic. And it was based all around foam plates. And the whole trend was you had a foam plate that matched every outfit and shit. Like, you remember like those Nokia phone plates back in?
Plus, like they could take a bullet, like old Nokia phones.
Burn. No doubt, I didn't know that. You're MacGyver, dude.
Run them over with a car, anything.
Anyway,
they used to stand through anything.
Yeah, so the guys are good with plastic, is what I was getting at.
I got you.
Plasticians, if you will.
Is that a real word?
I have no clue. It sounds.
If it's not, it should be.
It is now.
Definitely sounds real to me.
Do you have any more cooler heads gear like on its way out, or you still have some left over from your first order at Clash?
Yeah, so I've got the cooler heads Prevail. I did t-shirts, so I've got some pretty cool shirts. I got some dad hats. I did pins, so I've got like little, I guess they're like 1.5 inch full color enamel pins. I when I was in the music, I was kind of like a pin collector. You could always get like a lot of cool pins often. And I know a lot of people that were just kind of, so I'm into all the little stuff, like the little patches and the little pins, because I was just talking to my buddy the other day. I think they're not only neat to have, and if they're high quality, then they look really cool. But if they are on your bag with the message that I'm trying to deliver, then I like to call them like tiny reminders, because sometimes that is what it is, man. After one of the shots or whatever, you see that cooler heads Prevail, just reminds you, and you just want to reel your shit in a little bit. It's a reminder to want to get it together. So yeah. And then I did the run of Clash plastic, which I got like 6 molds of. And I do have a little bit of all of it left. So holler at me or happywithpar.com and pick yours up and support me on my way to become an official vendor at PDGA 2023 World Championship.
Let's get him there. We'll put something in the show notes to get you there too, hopefully.
We're going.
Unless I forget, then maybe I won't be there.
And if anybody ever plans to go, if anybody is planning to go, please swing by when you see me, take a picture with me, say hi, talk about the Oh No Disc Golf podcast. We'll send a picture back to them. The full circle type of shit is what this is all about.
So when is it? I can't even think of the date of Worlds offhand. How long you got?
I believe it's August. Does it start August 30th? I think it starts August 30th. I might be.
It does now. It starts now.
Does now.
Right, you're gonna make me look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's August 30th. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to talk and look it up at the same time.
I got
Eric's,
it. I got it.
Eric's the guy who always looks stuff up for me.
August 30th to September.
My keyboard
3rd.
is too loud.
See,
I got this, dude. Yeah, so I hiked a long trail, which is a trail in Vermont that runs from St. Adams, Massachusetts, north up through the Green Mountains to Canada. It's 273 miles. Me and a couple of my buddies hiked that in 2018, and that was the first time I had ever been to Vermont. And I mean, it was an awesome hike. It was a great experience, but what a beautiful state, man. The Green Mountains were really something to see. And we met a lot of really cool people passing through the towns and everything. So when I got home, I told my girl, my fiance, like, we definitely need to go to Vermont. And we kept saying we were going to. Well, we kept saying literally like the next year we had our kid. So we had our son. And I guess we waited a year and then we went back up there and we went and stayed at Smuggler's Notch, actually. So we drove to Vermont from Maryland, which is probably about 8.5 hour drive with our 1.5-year-old son. And it was a hell of a road trip.
I bet.
But yeah, we had a good time, and we were saying that we wanted to visit again, and we started looking into it, and then I realized that Worlds was up there this year and just decided to kind of combine the two. And so here we are. Once I get an idea, I start running with it.
Ain't no stopping me now.
Hell yeah.
I guess not. Till the wheels fall off.
I wanted to go back real quick. I have the same idea of like using like things around you to like kind of calm your mind. It's a good reminders and stuff. I literally have just a little smiley face on my wrist. If you're on YouTube,
nice.
You can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So same idea, but mine's just permanent.
Yeah, I write stuff on underneath of my discs sometimes. Like there's this one called The Four Agreements. It's a book, but I guess it's also just kind of like a thought process, right? It's like be impeccable with your word, take nothing personally, always try your best. And
a fourth good saying too.
I'm blanking out on that one right now, but
How are you forgetting 3? That was pretty good.
It's just kind of thing. It's just kind of, it's real simple. It's real simple, but if you can apply it in sort of that umbrella thought process, it really can. It's just eliminating negativity from your brain. Trying to do that. You know what I mean? Trying to spend less time harping on anything negative, just as hard as it is, there's a bright side. There's always a solution, you know what I mean? And that kind of goes into what we were just talking about. You just brought it up, Eric, but I saw it as well, all over Instagram, and there was a pretty well-known figure, I guess, from out west, who passed away and took his own life. And that's kind of taking it really deep, but that's what this whole thing is kind of about for me too, is really just like remembering that there's always kind of a solution, because there's been times where I've been pretty down. I don't want to get too into talking about my personal thing right now, but there's other people out there who are at a place where they feel like there isn't a solution, or they don't have somewhere to turn. There absolutely always is. And it's definitely hard to ask for help, but man, it's definitely worth it. And I think as I've asked for help and as I've sought out help, some of the things that I've learned that help was, tiny reminders, just tiny little bits to bring me back to that kind of thought process, to break the negative thinking and bring me back to that thought process of kind of like, sometimes it, it's using like underdog thinking, like that I've been there before, I can go through there again. Sometimes it's just, thinking about the end, which is the better part, getting once you're past it. Yeah, the goal. So yeah, that's what the tiny reminder thing is for me. That's what, once again, this whole happy with par thing is for me, something to work on. because that's what we need as people. I
Right.
think
Right.
we
I
need,
agree.
Yeah. We need something to pour our soul into.
yeah, man, and to help remind ourselves of our worth and our value, not only to ourselves but to others, and the connection and the community that even I've made off of. Look at with you guys, checking in with you guys again. Like I know Eric, you and I have talked a bunch of times just off of
No, I know.
any
Randomly.
random any random thing. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that went a
Yeah,
little
it's
deep, but
No,
that's
you're
okay.
totally good.
If anyone is feeling that way and they don't feel like they have anyone that they can reach out to, you can always reach out to us. I'm always happy to chat on Instagram or Facebook. And
Anytime.
same.
Always.
I'll plug the suicide hotline just in case, but it is 988, or you can text home to 741-741.
And that should be in
Man,
the show notes too. Hope there's a lot to getting to remember a lot of shit here, but I'll try.
well, let's talk about some good news. You got your first pro win.
Yeah, I did. That was sick. Yeah,
I think the tournament was
Congratulations.
called Chains and Grains, right?
Chains and Grains. Yep.
Chains
Yeah.
and
So
Grains, yeah.
the same buddy Greg that I was just talking about, who helped develop the dry hop pond course, he's been putting on a tournament here in our local community for the past 4 years called Chains and Grains. It's a disc golf tournament and a homebrew tournament. So, and we're not all drinkers, but it's
Mhm.
homebrew, it's science, man. There's a couple really, really talented brewers who brew up some really good stuff, and we'll play around a disc golf, and then afterwards, if you play, in the round, or you can just show up and come out to taste test, and then they vote on the brewing thing. And like I said, it's been going on for 4 years, and it's it's a pretty it's got some tradition. It's pretty thick in tradition, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
There's like there's a basket with that sits on top of a keg that has like all of the winners' names of the homebrew contest and the disc golf winners on both sides. And yeah, so this year I started playing, a lot more MA1 stuff, but a couple of these guys in my local community who I've been hanging with pretty tight who play MPO, I just thought to myself, it's unsanctioned, whatever. I'm gonna go out there and have a good time. And I just happened to rip it that day. So yeah, I got an MPO win.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah. It was sick.
Now, do you homebrew or anything, or are you just an enjoyer of beer?
I used to do a little bit of home brewing. I wouldn't call myself a home brewer though, because I was using like I didn't buy kits, but I was using like extract ingredients.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't doing an all grain mash, which that's real brewing. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. That's real brewing. I wasn't doing real brewing. So once me and my buddy brewed a couple beers. We had like an Instagram for our Mountain Brothers Brewing. He lived on Mountain Road. And we like brewed a couple of extract beers in his shed. And we both had big beards at the time. And we were like, fuck you, dude, we're badass. And we invited like our friends over, and they drank the beer. They're like, this one kind of tastes like soap. And we're like, nah, it's good. It's all right. It's not that bad at all.
That means it's clean.
But yeah, I remember like, I don't know, it might have been Greg or somebody came over and like had one of our beers, and they were like, not bad. You guys are brewing extract? And I was like, fuck, they know it's extract right away. That means it should suck. And I kind of gave up. I kind of gave up on brewing after that. I was like, until I can brew all grain, I'm good on this, So I'm just an enjoyer.
That's fair.
But yeah, but we have we do have a lot of I guess beer related and brewing related disc golfers in our community. So it kind of, ties in. And, once again, there are definitely some people who come out to our events and they don't drink. And, we want to facilitate an atmosphere that's not totally geared around alcohol. It just so happens that we've got, a family owned beer store. Some of our friends, their family owns like the second largest or it's the set rated 2 bottle shop in America by ratebeer.com. I don't know if it is this year, but it was like for a couple years. And they've like supported us a lot and helped us to grow the disc golf community. So, you know, we like to show love back to them and offer them the opportunity to sponsor our events. We have a buddy of mine, Dave, who's a brewer at Wilmington Brew Works, who just sponsored the event. So it's just kind of like an overlap of 2 communities. That was really cool. Yeah. So anyway, beer. Yeah. Beer.
I appreciate that you think about the teetotalers too, though. That's nice of you.
Well, I mean, yeah, I want everybody. I mean, first off, I don't care what you do. I mean, if you want to have a beer and you can be responsible about it, cool. If you don't, cool. You know, so I want to make sure that people aren't like, you know, I've, you know, seen drunk people when I wasn't drunk, and I wouldn't want to, or drinking or whatever, you know, and like there's occasions where I wouldn't want to be around that. So we try to make sure, you know, we have a couple beers, but like keep yourself in check for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. We're adults here.
Right.
Try to be.
Got any more stamps you're working on, or are you just keeping happy with the basket? Like on your stamp machine.
Oh yeah, right now I just got the die for the walking basket. So I've just been kind of like lighting up some of the plastic I've accrued over the amateur career. You know, I've got a couple placements. So I got a good bit of plastic here. You can kind of see my little rack, but it's a bunch of stuff that I've thrown, some of it a little bit, and then other stuff I've never really thrown because I just, you know, I hone in my bag and I don't really need to. So I've just been kind of like tagging that stuff up, and I'm gonna start carrying it around and hopefully using it as a little like fundraiser. But I definitely would like to. You know, get the cool brain on a stamp and some more artwork coming in time.
Yeah. I'll have to reach out, but one of my local, not super local, but guy I met at a tournament down in like Ypsilanti has been doing like little stamps for a while, and he found a place, I think in Indiana, that the stamps cost like half as much as they did before. So I'll have to figure out where that is. So when you do another one, you don't have to. Because I think he got the same machine. You got it from like, I think it's the same guy who owns AGL, right? Is it?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I know.
No, I thought it was.
I know it very well may be. Does he kind of a smaller guy with like glasses?
I think so. I think his name's Josh. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know the guy I see on the Instagram videos, but I know that homie from Disc Golf Bra is involved with high pressure stamps, and that's kind of how I found them originally. And he was really helpful in kind of just setting me up with, you know, just some tips and tricks to get started, and yeah, it's been cool. So I don't know. I've always kind of been, you know, that person that wanted to like put stickers on all my shit and like customize anything that I ever had. So now having my own stamp machine, like you can best believe that I was immediately just like woo, just stamping everything, dude. Just it was pretty funny. I
was just gonna ask, did you just go through your bag and just do every disc you own?
Yeah. Well, I pulled out I had a couple F2s that I was messing with first because I knew I was gonna screw it up.
Yeah.
Thank God I did, because I got this. I actually wiped it already and I started stamping it again. But yeah, I had some pretty bad looking stamps starting out. It's not too bad though at all. You just need to get the temperature down for whatever you're trying to do. I was told like 165 for like base level plastic, and then maybe like 175 for like more premium plastic. But I've been kind of dropping around like 169, and for some reason 169 has been working just perfect for me.
Hell yeah.
All plastic. Yeah, you don't really need to hit it too long. Just make sure you have a nice flush kind of surface. anything that's a little bit domier, I've been kind of just cutting up like some index cards, and I wedge them underneath of my little wooden plate so that I can just kind of like fill in that bubbly surface. That way, you know, when your hot dye is hitting, your foil's sticking. This whole interview, like there's so much throwaway, but there's a couple parts that, man, money.
There's no throwaway. It's all been money.
It's all been perfect.
Okay,
dude, you
great.
are one take Tony. You told us the first
that's what I was
time,
gonna
and
say.
that's not
Yeah.
going away.
Well, I thought it was cool that you remember that. You know what OTT?
Yeah, you know me.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, the hot stamp machine has been fun. It interests me too because I kind of have a little bit of machine background from working at the company like that I told you about. So like
Yeah,
the whole like process of, hey, I'm pulling this hot thing down to hit that, like it's really simple, but like it makes sense to me. And
Yeah.
and even the disc making process of like, hey, we're dropping, you know, little polymer pellets into something that's heating them and grinding them, and it's going to squirt this rope through this die and into this mold, and all of that makes sense to me from sort of like a machining background.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to even get the hot stamp machine, because as simple as it is, it's kind of just like another step closer to that. And I don't know that I would ever want to be making discs or mold. I'll never put that out of the realm of possibility. But like, I don't know if that's something that I would ever want to do. But man, how cool would it be to do that? To like hang out in a manufacturing thing. Like, I'm trying to go to Finland and let me make my own disc and then take it out and throw it. That would be, I don't know, it's just so fun.
It's mind blowing.
It's cool, man.
I've been to like Trash Panda's like garage, so I got to see like the original like pull lever guy.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. For me, I feel the exact same way. I don't have a background in it, but I've always just enjoyed like plastics and manufacturing, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just really cool.
I remember seeing one of his videos where like had the whole body. It was like his entire body weight. He had to press down to get I guess the
plastic.
Was that a die? Was that like a hand die?
He was
molding or something.
Him doing that was injecting it into the mold.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, he had to figure out his temperatures and like a ton of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would never throw out any sort of criticism whatsoever because I have never actually been through the process. Like I said, it just kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense, you know, a little bit step by step. And I think that it is interesting, like just the manipulation. I mean, think just even about the possibility of, and then to vinyl too. Like I spin records, right? And all right, now I'm bringing something in totally from left field, but if anybody collects vinyl or sees any vinyl these days, they're doing like crazy splatter vinyl and different color records and stuff. Like we're seeing halo plastic, but what about all the other possibilities of how they could be sprinkling in like the pellets of plastic that are different colors to then, you know, hit. I mean, I just think there's some cool shit that could possibly be happening. And I don't know, it would be fun to try and make my own. Like, how are the swirls made? Like, do they get to make them or is it just random? I know I've heard sometimes like, yeah, we get these in between colors when we're like passing, you know, green. Nobody told me that. I just heard that. I said it like somebody told me that. Yeah, we get in between colors. No one ever told me that. I've just heard somewhere.
We're believing you.
Like,
so actually, one of my buddy, who's a local here, Carrie, works at the MVP factory. It's only, I don't know, not even an hour from us.
Damn, y'all are in hot spots. You know, Trash Panda. in with MVP. Damn, I
No,
mean,
I wouldn't call it that. I don't know if I call it that. But anyway, he does a lot of he used to do a lot of the manufacturing for the discs until James Conrad won Worlds, because then they exploded so much that now he's like a manager
that's
instead.
tight.
But if you noticed in a lot of the rims of MVP, you probably don't throw a lot of MVP. Well, I guess not MVP, but an Axiom where it is like swirly like that. It's actually caused from the machine's not being cleaned well enough in between runs of colors. So
So
I can't
lazy
say
is paying off.
I can't say how every swirl is made, but
Well,
that is how
like I
some, at
said,
least how the rims are.
yeah, I've definitely heard. I do know what you're talking about. I have many friends that throw a lot of MVP, and
Okay.
I've thrown some MVP. I got a couple MVPs right here. Here you go. I got a cool one for you. This is my James Conrad Wave.
All right.
You know why it's called
Fancy.
my James Conrad Wave? Because James Conrad reminded me to just take a nice breath.
Love it.
Yeah, we woo. Anyway,
He's good, dude.
James Conrad's cool. Yeah, no, I think that there's definitely some color that we get just as they're transitioning from one to the next. Like we just produced a bunch of yellow, and now we're gonna make a bunch of red, and then all of a sudden you get some crazy swirly fireball stuff. But I don't know if they're not manipulating it to make cool colors on purpose, then we're missing something here.
Well, Kerry used to say his goal was to create discs that were undyeable. So his goal was to create discs that were so pretty right off the thing that no one was like, I must dye this now.
That's cool.
But I was like,
I love that thought
I'm
process.
a person who prefers like just plain colors. Like I'm not a person who really likes stuff dyed. I get my buddy Nate here to dye stuff to kind of like try and support his business and get it seen by people, but that's about it. I'm not like I prefer a bag of like all blues, pinks, and whites, and not like any. I mean, the swirls are nice. Don't get me wrong, but not like no. I don't like anything crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and those are actually kind of my go-to colors too. I like blue, pink, and white. We're just real easy to find.
Yeah, easy.
I like to throw black in there too, just to fuck with myself.
I do.
Great.
I do like to throw some black discs. I'm not.
I've never thrown any black discs. I got a buddy that has like an anode. It's black with a black rim and a black stamp.
Yeah.
Murdered out, and he throws it all the time, and it makes me nervous for
him. Just for him.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not searching. What is it? It's a shadow in the woods. Want me to find a shadow for you? I'm good.
I have a black zone, but it's pretty sparkly, so it kind of helps a little bit.
I'll throw it at night.
No.
My favorite is white discs in the winter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone always says something to me.
Do you guys put ribbons on your discs?
Always.
Not often.
If I have to.
I don't do it often. Yeah, only if it's so bad that I would need ribbons, I usually just don't go disc golfing that day.
Yeah. Good rule.
That's a solid rule.
There's been times where I've done it, but it's very few and far between.
There's not a lot that stops me from disc golf. It really just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I hate to be the guy that goes by all the sayings, although I'd love to be the guy that has all the sayings. At Gore, where I work, Gore-Tex, if you've ever heard of it, we have a comfort chamber. I've gone in there and done some like testing before, and there's this giant quote on the wall that says, "There's no such thing as bad weather, just the ill-prepared outdoorsman." And I was like, it kind of changed my thought process, especially because disc golf is the first thing that ever gave me a reason to be outside, like in the cold. Like, if it was cold before, I was just like, man, fuck this, I'm hanging out. But now I'm like, I'll play in anything. If it's really shitty weather, I tell myself it's the opportunity to practice in really shitty weather. Isn't that like?
No, it totally makes sense. That means that like if you have shitty weather on like a tournament day, you're gonna do way better than all the people that
Yeah,
have
yeah,
practiced in it.
exactly. That happens
Yeah,
every
it's a great
time.
mindset. I have the same exact mindset.
But I just keep going out there, man. I don't know. I think that's another special thing about the sport, I guess. Playing the cold. Still like it.
Oh, yeah.
Still have a fun time.
That's I always say there's like 3 steps to like becoming a disc golfer, and it's like you pick it up your first time and you play like with your buddies, and then the second time you like you'll go out by yourself and you'll play with yourself, and then the third time is when you finally admit to yourself you can play year round, and then you're like
Yeah.
a full-time disc golfer.
Yeah. I didn't play
Like,
by myself for a long time, and now those are some of the absolutely most like peaceful, and I mean that makes sense, but just some of the best round. I don't know. They're really rewarding rounds. I enjoy playing by myself now sometimes.
There's
yeah.
something to it's nice that you can do both, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome.
I feel like I moved in the opposite direction. I feel like I used to like to play by myself a lot more. And now it's like if I'm by myself, I would rather just like play or to go do like field work or go literally just like throw hole like one hole over and over and over again until I can like ace it or something. Like if I'm gonna be by myself. I don't know why. I mean I still do it, but it's
I
I
think
used
it
to enjoy it a lot more than I do now.
I think it came out of necessity for me when I had my son, and with work and stuff, it was just kind of like
Yeah.
depending on whenever I had time, and sometimes it didn't line up you know, with anybody
Anyone
else.
else's schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here
for
we
sure.
go, dude. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna get in maybe a quick 9 or something, and then you start playing by yourself, and you're like, damn, I can burn through this if I want to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I started taking my time too, and really just I guess it's been showing for me a little bit here lately, but I just was going out there taking my time. It kind of got allowed me to focus too, because I'm such a social butterfly that when I have other people there, I forget to really like focus on my game and take my time sometimes, because
I do that
I
too.
just love interacting with people.
I get so
Uh-huh.
focused on like the conversation sometimes that I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't even care about this putt. But like I should, like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. You care about it when you dink it, or you care about your bad drive when you kind of just like throw it off to the side. But that's that like reevaluation of. But that's been so much better for me. I played with a friend the other day who told me, he was like, "Man, you are so much more fun to play with now," and it it was a bittersweet thing. But I knew exactly what he's saying, because I go out and play with my friends, then be talking the whole time, engaged in the conversation, not focused on my play really at all. It's just different. It's like the Wildwood Boardwalk. It's just different every night. You never know. And sometimes when you go out there and you have these expectations to be, I don't know, just throwing like you're in the zone, but you're mentally not focused on the game. Um, so it's important to do both of those things, but definitely make sure that you have your mindset right for the outcome. You know what I mean?
For
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I've been playing those kind of rounds where I actually take my time, and I focus on my form or something that I'm trying to work on. And maybe I pretty much always keep score. That's I don't know. That's just for me. I kind of always do that. But I'll also take a lot of second shots. Sometimes I won't keep them, but I'll just take that second shot to reassure myself. Sometimes, sort of like if I off on the line a little bit, I'm like, all right, let me get that one more time, and I'll try it again, and maybe I'll hit
Right.
it, or maybe I won't. And if I don't, then just thank God that I find both my discs. But I've been playing those rounds where I kind of like focus, and then I play those other rounds where I'm having fun playing disc golf. And I think it's a combination of both of them balancing it out has really helped me kind of play a better game when it does come to getting competitive because I've got a handle on my like what is mine to handle and then how I interact with my card. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's kind of important sometimes, just like how you interact with your card, maybe.
Big time. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
learning. This is it's interesting, man. It's being somebody who's just very outgoing. It's been interesting to like reel it in and I don't know, not just not give too much when people don't want it. I'm learning how
Right.
to I'm learning how to handle that, you know. But it's
Yeah.
important for me too. So
Hmm.
huh.
I can't give you any advice. I feel like I had to force myself out of my shell, so
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have any advice for you.
It's all good, dude. I think I'm like I said, I think I'm starting to get the hang of it over here.
Oh yeah.
Good. Good to hear.
How long have you been playing disc golf again? I don't remember from our first.
I started playing in 2019. Like
Okay.
that's when I
4 years.
really cared about it or anything. I played a couple rounds before that, maybe like once a
Yeah.
year.
Uh-huh.
And was not really interested in the game at that time.
Yeah. It takes a minute till you really learn. Once you learn to appreciate it, then you're stuck.
Right.
So is happy with bar still just you? Do you have a team? Any team members you got? Just a team.
Nah, man, it's just me. I don't know. I kind of really don't know where I end and happy part with par. Happy par,
You are.
my son. Sometimes I don't know where where one ends and the other begins. Me and happy with par. I definitely have kind of wrapped myself all up in it, and part of that is because I do want I do want my journey in disc golf, but also some of the mental health stuff that I talk about, and I think that sometimes the story can't always be told. You have to live, as the example. Like it's if when you see me, how do I express it? I don't know. I just think that the message is I'm kind of already living it. And as I'm making these positive strides, I think that that's where, some of it can be translated and that's what I'm just trying to do is just kind of live the message that I'm kind of preaching. And if people can, find some inspiration through that, I don't want it to be just t-shirts and hats. Like I want to do stuff like this. I want to interview more. I'd like to interview other people and kind of talk specifically about these things. But I also just I don't know where it's gonna end. Like I don't really know what it encompasses. So I'm just I'm just rocking it with me right now. This year was pretty big in trying to, push towards world. So I've been too busy to take on, the responsibility of like sponsoring a team.
Yeah.
So I
Or
don't
bringing
know.
anyone on. Yep, I get it.
I wouldn't want to disappoint anyone. So I'm not going to do that yet.
Yeah. I don't.
In time, that'd be cool though.
Right.
For sure.
Um,
We should do like a team tour. Be like, oh, look at it. This is our social media manager. Oh yeah. This is the guy who makes all the discs. Yeah. It's all just
Oh,
you.
well, if you meant, I thought you meant like, like a team of players, but as far
Mm,
as like taking on a team of people, no, like I've got some collaborations and stuff going, but that's really, yeah, that's a whole nother story, man. I definitely am feeling the need for it. I'm feeling the need for like, the content that I'm talking about. Like I wish that I had somebody, with a camera kind of just like hanging out, filming stuff. But it's kind of
right.
difficult to get your friends to film when you're playing rounds with them, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah.
so yeah, I don't know, man. In time maybe. but I did just get this little circle light that has like a connector for my phone. So maybe I'll just start making some little selfie videos.
You're a professional. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a tripod and just start carrying that around with me. Who knows where I'll
How
set
old?
it.
You just got to start training your son to hold a camera. That way, once he's like, old enough to hold
We're
it.
not far off, dude. I don't think we're far off.
All right.
I think he would definitely know how to, hold the camera. He just might not film me the whole time.
Right.
Well, it'll
Who
be
knows what he's gonna
interesting,
get,
if
but,
nothing
yeah.
else.
It'd be interesting for sure.
Though, do you have any advice for someone who might want to start something like you have?
Talk to somebody who knows what they're doing before you get involved. It's like, no.
That makes sense.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Not really. I don't really have any. Just go for it. Just do it.
There you go. That's what I always say.
Just do
good
it.
old Nike symbol. Just do it.
I mean, it for me, like, I don't really have a whole lot of expectation as far as like where this goes right now. Like maybe I'm just trying to, maybe this sounds like, just like dumb dreamer, but I'm just trying to make it big. Like I'm just trying to make it bigger. I'm just trying to grow the people who know what I'm doing and what this is. And I don't, like I told you, I don't really have an idea. I just know I want to make more than t-shirts. So,
Right. I don't think you have to have a destination in you don't have to have an end goal in mind. You're just enjoying the trip, man.
Yeah,
Right.
I started tinkering around with this car that I got. It was like a pretty nice little throwback. It was like a 92 Mustang ST, you know what I'm saying? So I just started messing with it a little bit. And then one day when I was shifting the gears, I was jerking on the gears, you know what I mean? I was like, kang, 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 jerking the gears, and all of a sudden I boom, boom, bang, and I kick-started it. When I started driving. And as the car was rolling down the street, I was like, damn, I'm cruising. And I was just cruising. I was cruising. And I started picking up people, started jumping in with me as we were rolling along. And I was like, dude, we're killing it. And it's kind of like this. But then all of a sudden I realized, like, I don't know anything about Mustangs, dude. And then that's why I was like, hold up, who's got a phone? We need to call somebody. I brought on my boy real quick. His name was Fred. I was like, hey, Fred, you used to have a Mustang, right? He was like, no, I didn't have a Mustang. I had a Camaro. I was like, shit, that's a Chevy. But he was like, I know a Ford guy though. So anyway, that's what you do. You just connect with the people that you need, I think. And if you want to keep that car, in motion, then just here and there, stop off for an oil change. Just get a little maintenance. Just check in with a professional, somebody who might be able to help you. So that's what I'm trying to do, man. I didn't know about the ride before I got it, but I'm a car guy now, man, and I'm here for the ride. No destination, just road tripping around America.
So is that a real story? Or
I mean, yeah, essentially that's exactly what I'm doing, right?
But do you really have a 92 Mustang?
Not at all, dude. I just bought a 2019 Nissan Frontier, actually, though. My Subaru had 183,000 miles, and she pooped her out, and I had to buy a new vehicle, man. It sucks. I got a car payment again. But I think what's more important is that 92 Mustang I was talking about. It's a dream car, right? Dream car.
Right. Now you're living the dream car.
I'm driving that dream car, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I have another question on here.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get it.
All right, cool.
I have another question on here that's how would you describe yourself? But I feel like we don't even need to answer that because I feel like you've showed us who you are over 2 episodes. Unless there's anything you feel like you missed about yourself that you're like, I want to make sure the world knows.
Nah, man, I don't. I think it's what I would like is for an anonymous poll to be sent out. But I find out who every person that answered. I want to know what their answer is, and they're all like, Anthony will never know this, but we want to know, what do you think about Anthony? And then I get to read them all. Like, that's what they said. That's what I would like, because I don't think I could describe myself. I think that it would be, it's unfair. I'm too hard of a critic. I'd be like, as soon as I want to be like, I'm pretty funny. I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah,
You
unoriginal.
fucking
Eric,
idiot.
real
You know what I
quick,
mean?
describe him in 3 words. Let's do it.
We
Optimistic,
try.
comedic.
Thank you. I try.
I don't know. I was gonna say people person is the third word, but
I was gonna say
Yeah.
chill, authentic, and I'm also struggling for a third one. So let's just do 2.
people pleasing.
Well,
You mean
people, please. I get it, man. I think that's kind of a good thing, but also it's something that I struggle with myself.
Gotta be
Okay.
careful with it.
Yeah, I think
Keep
it's
an eye on it.
You got to be careful with it.
It's just like and you were talking about how in disc golf you learned how to enjoy like solo rounds, and or not feel like you have to talk all the time or whatever. Like you've learned how to turn yourself back from an extrovert a little bit enough.
Here you go. The people pleasing to the disc golf, right? Here's one of the things. Maybe it could be. If I am having like a pretty rough moment or whatever, what I think I want in my heart, what I think I want is somebody to be there for me, somebody to support me, right? But that's not always what you need. So somebody else on the card might be, have had just a rough thing. And now there's a part of me that I just want to bring them up. So maybe I would be like, yo, bro, not to maybe try to pull them in or something. I don't know. I think that, maybe that could be a part of that, of learning that I don't have to do this for that person. I don't have to, be there to comfort. Not sometimes people want to go through it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, give me a minute to go through it. And this is just a random example, but that's like that. Maybe that would be an opportunity to overlap your claim that I'm a people pleaser with. It's like the way that I have talked too much on a disc golf card. Is that a stretch, or is that exactly what the people needed?
They might have.
Maybe.
It's like, I don't know, dude. Talking too much.
Not talking enough. Well, do you have any new Ono moment that has happened between last time we heard from you?
I immediately think of last tournament I played was a sanctioned tournament. I played MA1 because it was a real tournament. But no, I actually had just signed up. I think I had just signed up for it earlier or something. But just found out that I was in the lead on like one of the last holes and immediately dinked it, and just missed that short putt. But I think that's just one of those things, getting your head a little bit too much.
You're like, can I buy a mulligan? I need a mulligan. I need one mulligan.
I know, right? You just think about it too much, man. That's when you have those oh no moments. Yeah. If I just could have kept it cool. I think that was my first oh no moment that I told you about. I don't know, something about just being a head case and dinking it out or something.
Do you think it was the one in the tournament in January that you had right before we talked?
Absolutely, that's what it was. It was that day, wasn't it?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So we already heard that one. That's okay.
If you haven't heard it, go listen to that episode that was in late January. I don't know what it was called, but
it was called Here We Go with Having a Par.
Yeah.
And I told you all about my bad tournament performance that day.
It was fun. It was a good time.
And now here I am again. Yeah, we did. We had a good conversation that time. Today I'm just rambling a lot.
That's what makes good conversation.
Podcast. That's totally what a podcast is.
Got to fill them seats. Fill that time.
No dead air.
Yeah. No dead air. No that. Yeah, I was supposed to come out for that 303 Open, and then just so happened that my tournament landed on the same weekend. So, but yeah,
Something's
Well,
more important.
next year, let's both.
We'll see.
I'll write it down.
Next year I'll be out there vending.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that'd be sick.
I'm trying to quit my day job, son. Give me. Oh, I talked about I bragged about my job and then said I was trying to quit it. I want to live the dream. Don't we all want to live the dream?
There's nothing wrong with wanting to quit the job that you kind of like.
It's a good job, but I just I dream about the day that I can break the cycle and we can just focus on the art. It sounds so irresponsible, but
it's real. Like
It's true.
Eric grooms dogs, so he's
well, that's
his
an
own
art.
business, and I walk dogs, so that's my whole business.
That's an art
So,
too. How many dogs you walking at one time? You know what I mean? That could be
6 to 7 usually.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
Multiple. Do you do like small dogs in one hand, big dogs in the other? Doesn't matter.
No. They're usually they're pretty chill with each other.
Tight, dude. That's cool, man.
It's so much fun.
I don't get to do that. I don't get to walk multiple breeds of dogs on any sunny day, I feel like.
Gotta do it on the non-sunny days too.
That's true. I had to do it all winter. It was pretty tough.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's only ill-prepared.
The ill-prepared outdoorsman, correct.
That's really true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning it. That's why I always wear 2 sweatsuits on top of each other now.
You got layers, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Puma underneath and then Adidas on top.
So it's like one of the Adidas that makes you look like a mafia member.
Well, I was a big fan of the Royal Tenenbaums as a kid, so I got a burgundy tracksuit. I like to wear that over top of my Puma. The Puma is just soft. Yeah, it's just soft. I got it from the outlet store. It's nice and soft. So yeah, double tracksuits outside all the time.
Clean the bathrooms.
Clean the bathroom.
Well, I don't have anything else written down to talk about.
I think that's all the questions.
You got more rambling to do? We'll listen. I'll listen.
No,
man.
I don't think I should.
Well, why don't you plug everything you can? Tell people where to keep an eye out for you, what you got going on, all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for having me again, guys. So hit me up on Instagram at happywithpar.dg. You can go to the website happywithpar.com and pick up some merch if you're interested in it. I'm on Facebook at happywithpar. But yeah, just happy with par. Going to be up at Worlds this year. Keep an eye out on the Disc Golf Network if you see my little logo pop up, and if you happen to be in the area,
wore that shirt.
Yeah, stop by for sure. I'd be excited.
Shout out on Instagram too. Do all things.
I'm always interested too, just to hear how people found the brand. So if you are listening to this and you're interested and you start to dig what you see from Happy with Par, let me know it was from Ono, because then I'll appreciate these guys even more. No, but for real, I do just think it's so cool when you find out like how some random person is like, hey, just hit you up and people have hit me up and bought a shirt or whatever and send me a message and tell me that they like the logo, and we start talking and I'm like, thanks so much. How did you find, and they're like, oh, I saw somebody wearing it at this course, I don't know. And I've heard Morley Field a couple times, which I'm pretty sure that's San Francisco. And then there's just been a couple other random ones. My buddy was just up at Pyramids, which is, I guess, a disc golf store and course like across from Maple Hill, and somebody had Happy with a patch on their bag. And I'm like, where did he get it? How did he, did you ask him his name? He's like, no, I just took a picture of it real quick. I was like, damn, I want to know. I just think it's so cool. I just think it's interesting because for the most part, I don't do anything but fuck around on Instagram. And just all the content that I post is like from my local courses and stuff. So it's just always interesting to hear how people get there. So if you get there from here,
Let them know.
Let them
yeah,
know.
let me know, baby. Let me know.
Well, thanks again, One Take Tony, for joining
Yeah,
us
dude.
on
Thank you so much for coming
episode
back. Appreciate you.
99.
This is fun.
99.
First
Tune
one was
in
really
next
fun
week
too.
to
This one I
hear
think was fun
100.
too. I liked them all.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Talk to you later.